A start of a new journey for South African football as the Dstv and the PSL partnership comes to an end. Welcome to the Soccer Huddle. This is your boy Mojere. Yeah, news coming in. Rumor has it has been confirmed. Other publications say it is a done deal. It has been signed on the dotted line. It should be announced very soon. But it was started first of all by my favorite journalist, Mazola Molefe, and he said the PSL and the Dstv are now in divorce or proceeding for divorce. As we've all known in the past few months, if you will look watching the news, if you were following, I think it's Cash in Sport. There's a guy who does things so brilliant. If you don't have him, check him out. He does things brilliant where he spoke about DSTV's potential takeover. So there's a group called the Canal Plus, and they're buying a majority shareholder in MultiChoice. So MultiChoice, DSTV is a subcontractor of MultiChoice or SuperSport, and DSTV. They all fall under the head of MultiChoice. So MultiChoice is not getting new partners or new shareholders, which is Canal Plus. They're buying almost half of the company, if not half, or half and a quarter or something like that. So the MultiChoice group now is being bought by this Canal group. So MultiChoice is in a bit of a crisis, a financial crisis. As you know, the subscribers have been falling, but while now they tend to go into streaming websites, into Netflix, they don't see much or the importance of having a DSTV subscription. As you've seen in the latest figures, DSTV keeps dropping in subscription, keeps dropping in revenue. So now, what does that mean for the PSL? It means there's no money anymore for the league. In close to 3 years, the league and the PSL having this sponsorship, it is coming to an end this year. And as we all heard, as we all saw, as we all read, it's going to become the Betway Premiership. Betway, gambling website or gambling company or gambling, whatever you want to call it, is now going to be the official sponsor, the official title sponsor of the PSL. Title sponsor meaning what? It means it's going to be called the Betway Premiership, as much as it was the DSTV Premiership or the ABSA Premiership. So the relationship between the DSTV and the PSL is finally come to an end. What's the right word? A premature end, because I think both parties have agreed to terminate the contract because, as the factors as I've mentioned, the DSTV or MultiChoice doesn't have money anymore. Now, our league, the PSL, will be known as the Betway Premiership. Now, Mamelodi Sundowns are the only team to have won the DSTV Premiership, so at least they've got that record in their books as well. So let me know what you think of the new partnership, the Betway Premiership. It is now going to be called no longer the DSTV Premiership. But I like to, before I close it up, I like to bring something to you guys. I read it somewhere on Twitter. I forgot who wrote it, and I think I was like, maybe this guy is onto something. So instead of the PSL having a title sponsor, well, how about the PSL go and branch out and look for sponsors? Like in the English Premiership. So the English Premiership is known as the English Premiership. It's known as the Premier League. There's no title sponsor. It was before the Barclays Premiership. Now it's no longer there. It's just the Premiership, the English Premiership, EPL. And then you've got this bunch of this bunch of sponsors underneath the FA, which sponsors the league, not the title. So because you avoid things like this, like if a company goes bankrupt or if the company doesn't have money to run the league anymore, you don't have to change the title of the name. You don't have to change your cup as well. So you would have your own PSL Cup. You would have your own PSL Premiership or whatever they want to call it. And that's it. All the sponsors come underneath. It's like a tree and they come underneath. They become the branches. When one branch a cowha, then another one will sprang. So that way, you will still have your tree, you will still have your roots, you will still have everything in it. And then you would have new branches coming out and spranging, or you would have branches breaking and all. But the tree still remains the tree. Now, instead of now having to face issues like now, because there was an official communication given to the teams that please do not release your team jerseys yet because we are changing the sponsorship. Remember that badge there? That's the one. So instead of having a league title sponsor, how about having sponsors underneath the league? So for example, now the PSL pays about 15 million, if I'm not mistaken. You would have, like, say for example, your Betway, you would have APSA, maybe, or Dstv, maybe, who else? APSA, Castle. You would have those sponsors. They would contribute into the running of the league. I read somewhere. I'm maybe I don't have the figures are about. I think the multi-choice of Dstv was paying PSL about 160 million a year. So that 160 million, you could divide it into 2, 3, 4, 5 sponsors, and you would have 5 sponsors. So instead of if you lose one sponsor, you just go look for another sponsor. Instead of you lose one sponsor, then the whole league collapses. Let me know what you think. The new PSL era comes out. We might have an official announcement from the PSL that from now on, the PSL will now be known as the Betway Premiership. How do you feel about that? Personally, I don't want our soccer to be. For me, it's like we're promoting gambling in the country. For me, it's like the PSL is now promoting gambling. And I think we've seen in Europe as well. I think the EPL, they said they don't want sponsors on the shirts anymore. Like the contract that are there, they will run out. But they don't want sponsors of any betting company because you are promoting betting. We know betting is there. Betting makes a lot of money. We have made money. We have been eaten. But I imagine as the title sponsor, it means you are advertising people to gamble, especially in economy that is so down. Then you advertising Betway. So people will be addicted to Betway. People is gonna lose money on Betway because if Betway is the official sponsor of the PSL, they've got within their rights to advertise the way they want, how they want. You never know. We'll see. And also the running of the PSL as well. I've spoken about this multiple times. There's too many teams that are struggling to keep the team afloat. We just saw Morocco Solos had just sold their status to Marumo Gallants. We just saw Marumo Gallants last season bought it from TTM Vets. It's a long cycle. Bloemfontein Celtic to the Royal AM is it AM Andilem Pisane Royal, yeah, AM what. So we need to start at the top. For me, we need to start at the top. The structures, the old people need to leave. It's like the ANC and the PSL in a soccer. We need to remove those people. The money should be spread accordingly. The money should be spread equally for all the teams' sake. Otherwise, we're gonna have this issue of teams changing names every single time. And someone needs to rewrite the PSL book or whatever they call it, rule book or what. If someone buys a team, you don't have to change the name. You don't have to change the location. Just buying it. You just a sponsor, like what happens in Europe. Let me know what you think as well. Let me know. How does the name Betway Premiership sound to you? Are you also in agreement with me that the PSL structure needs to be restructured and done it properly? Are you agreeing with me as well? Or not me, the guy on Twitter who said the PSL, instead of having a title sponsor, they should just have a multiple of sponsors underneath and have the same name, like the PSL Premiership and the PSL Cup, so that we avoid in future to change names from the APSA Premiership to the Dstv Premiership to whoever, maybe Betway Premiership, or even Betway after 2 years, Leoneba bankrupt, now to Nedbank Premiership or Castle Premiership, or what. You get my drift. Let me know what you think. Remember, like, share, and subscribe. Until we meet again. Ciao.